Well, it took me a while, but I finally did it. I perfected the recipe for the Hunter Warmind Cell build. To start things off for mods, I used cellular suppression. Damaging a Warmind cell creates a burst of suppressing void energy. Additionally, you do less damage to Warmind cells. Now, doing less damage to Warmind cells is actually very beneficial. All you have to do is just put one bullet into a Warmind cell, and everything nearby is suppressed. Because we do less damage to the cells, they can be shot every couple of seconds to ensure the enemies stay suppressed. Next is Global Reach, which is pretty standard in most Warmind cell builds. It makes the effects of Warmind cells reach further. Then there's Warmind's Protection. Take reduced damage from enemies that are near Warmind cells. Pretty straightforward and often handy in a tight spot. On the cape, I used Grasp of the Warmind. You can pick up, carry, and throw Warmind cells. Once thrown, a Warmind cell cannot be picked up again. I really like using this mod because sometimes the cells spawn in weird locations, and this allows you to reposition them to affect more enemies. On the boots, I've used Power of Rasputin. You gain a bonus to weapon damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. The boots I've put them on are the GEMINI Jesters with the perk Misdirection. Dodging disorients nearby enemies and temporarily removes their radar. Most people use this in Crucible, and it is really nice in PvP, but I've also found it works great with this Warmind cell build. If you don't have any Warmind cells nearby to disorient enemies, there is the option of dodging to disorient. This works especially well when pairing it with the Way of the Trapper's Shadow Step, where dodging grants brief invisibility. The reason this works so well is because champions don't like being suppressed, but usually if they cannot see you, they cannot hit you. Now I say usually because the champions are the absolute worst cheaters in PvE. I've had it a couple times before where I've staggered an overload champion with a solar grenade or an auto rifle, and the champion simply will shrug it off, give me the finger, and continue teleporting away. Anyways, the weapons I used are the 7th SERAPH Carbine, the Ikelos Sniper Rifle version 1.0.2, and the LAMENT. My carbine has rampage and hipfire grip, and since it's a 7th SERAPH weapon, it can create Warmind cells on kills. The sniper rifle has SERAPH rounds, which are the absolute best bullets a gun can have. It also has box breathing and no distractions, both of which work together. Aiming for a brief period grants bonus range and precision damage, and you take less flinch from incoming fire. The LAMENT has several perks, but to summarize, damaging combatants heals the wielder, and revving the chainsaw gives a damage bonus and allows it to pierce champion barriers. Which brings us to the next subject of champions. I used the overloaded auto rifle mod for the overload champions, then for unstoppable champions is the unstoppable Shoreschild condenser. Pair this with momentum siphon, and every time a champion is staggered, you instantly get your melee back. And as previously mentioned, the LAMENT sword, when revved up, will take out barriers. Overall, this has been a very fun build. Having a bonus to damage, and taking less damage from enemies near Warmind cells means that high-level content is just slightly easier. Using a sword in high-level content is very high-risk, high-reward, and that's where the GEMINI Jesters come in. You can run up to a Servitor Barrier champion, for example, and dodge, which will make you invisible and disorient all the little enemies near them. This leaves you able to fully charge the LAMENT sword and quickly take out the champion. The Warmind cells are a lot of fun to monkey about with. Being able to pick them up and move them is very advantageous, though the time on how long it can be held is really inconsistent. I have suspicions that there is a timer related to how much damage they have received and how long they've been sitting on the ground before being picked up, but it is rather difficult to eliminate the variables and test them consistently. But thank you for watching and stay safe out there.